Johnson. I play, I guess, rhythm guitar in Masnema.
Hey, my name's Josh, and I'm the vocalist of Masnema.
Yeah, it was late summer 2008. I was filling my gas tank up in my truck, and I ran into Joel. He said that he'd been jamming with the drummer.
You know, they were around before I was in the band, obviously, and it was a one guitar band, and you know, Kyle was in it.
They wrote all the original material. The very first vocalist, John Stewart, which was Joel's brother, he was in the band for quite a while.
We got a couple songs written. John came in, started laying some vocals down.
I was friends with them, so I would always come over, you know, and just hang out and watch them practice. And I always liked their style. I liked the way they're going. They're, you know, heavy, but you know, had its catchy parts at the same time.
We ended up switching vocalist from John to Sean Fry.
It just so happens my old band, Perfect Failure, broke up. Then I left another band that I was in, which was originally a side project, which was perfect timing because that's around the time they parted ways with Sean Fry.
So at this point, we're at our third vocalist. I'm thinking this has got to be it. We can't go through another vocalist change. This has got to be it.
Timing couldn't have been more perfect. They needed a vocalist and I needed a band. At one point there were some complications going on with Kyle and we parted ways with him.
We were having a really hard time finding a drummer after that. I mean, we couldn't find anybody that could fill the spot because Kyle had freaking machine guns his legs and he could play everything we played.
It was kind of meant to be, you know, like my other band, Helen Keller, was slowing down and you can kind of tell that things were winding down. And I wanted something solid, you know. We got drunk probably one night and I think we just talked about us all being in a band. And we're such good friends, you know, we know each other so well, and we kind of click on writing music in general because I've been in bands with them before. So it kind of just made sense, you know.
So from that point, we started kicking around a lot of ideas, whether or not to change the name, whether or not to keep the music, because that was what they had built amongst themselves. Like, they were a solid tripod, and they really, you know, they brought that music to life together. So we gradually decided to get rid of all of the old music and start writing brand new stuff. I had already been writing a couple songs that we were going to get to pretty soon, so we just went ahead and started with those. I programmed the drums since we no longer had a drummer, and I started adding piano parts and synth parts and whatnot.
We always wanted to come out with an album, and now we went from having a full album almost already written to getting rid of all that music to recording a whole nother album that was nothing like the old music.
It's been so long I forgot when we started recording, but I think it was cold out and we just started, we said let's self-produce the CD, and we all agreed on it, you know.
Gradually, over a period of time, we got enough songs to start playing out, and we played for a good year or so without a drummer. Also, while continuing to write the rest of our material and beginning to record our first full-length album. We ended up meeting a guy named John Spire who played drums for a band called Pyrrhic. So he was interested in learning the songs and to be a live drummer. And so we got him out, and he learned a good, set's worth of music, and he really talented drummer, like really good. And he's only 19 years old, he's a young guy, and he's gonna be even way more amazing when he's more our age and whatnot. But I don't know, things didn't quite work out with him either. We've always been a tight 4-piece right now, and it's really hard, I guess, to fit in with what we have in our vibe, and we need somebody that gets along with us, knows what we're going for musically, just goes with the flow. Like, we don't even talk about music in the band, we just make it.
We started tracking guitars, and it was 2010.
We recorded the motherfucker, and then all that happened, and then we were slow for a while, and then we really wanted to get it out again. We just kept getting motivated, not motivated, motivated. So we finally got money to save up to buy a recording mic.
We played a show at Woodruff's with Bloodlines Calligraphy, and that really, the pay that we got that night for playing the show is what bought our studio vocal mic.
We started recording vocals, and then we all started getting in the mode again of pushing up the CD, because we want to get it done and move on with new material, because we've been playing this since I've been in the band.
So 2 years later, after fighting through and getting all that kinks out, and Joel working his ass off on getting the tracks mixed down, sound professional, and just as good as we can get it, 2012 rolls around, and we were able to make the decision for October 6th to be the album release.
Honestly, we all feel very comfortable of what we've produced. Just as a band, do it yourself, we didn't go through a studio and spend all this money. We did it in our own time. We took a lot of time on it, and we all feel like it's a decent CD that we can all listen to as a band and be comfortable that we put out quality for people to listen, because we want this band to be taken seriously.
Releasing it at the only place that we ever would, which is Woodruff's. That place is kind of like home for us. They were kind enough to let us come super early to do, set up all of our equipment and do a sound check, really early in the day. Those guys have always been great to us. We love Woodruff so much. Tony Davidson, our manager, he was up there setting up a bunch more lights, and he also ran sound for us and everything. And I think he did an incredible job.
I didn't know how many people would show up. I didn't know the turnout or what. It's been a long time. We always kind of push the CD out oh, it's going to be here soon, it's going to be here soon. I told people last year that it was going to be out in a few months, So I didn't know exactly how that was going to work out, but, as soon as the doors opened, it started crowding out. I'm like, yes.
We didn't even get drunk before the show or anything. We all kept it really cool, which was awesome to me, that we were able to keep our composure and not get all wasted before we went up there to give everybody a great show, a great performance. And that's what really stood out to me about that day, is that we were all able to keep it together, not let everybody that was drinking keep passing us drink throughout the night and getting hammered throughout the night. And that was something that really stood out. And not only that, but how many people that showed up.
I always like people to show up early to catch the early bands. The Worst Of opened up, and they had incredible energy. Eyes Once Mine, we've played with those guys a few times, and I really dig those guys. They did an excellent job. Wheel Rot, they're seriously one of my favorite local bands. They tore it up as usual. They hadn't played in a while before that night.
All the bands did awesome that night. They all put 100%, probably way more than us for sure. But I love the lineup of bands we picked for this CD release, and I love to play with them again.
We came together quite well and gave everybody, I think, the best performance we could. With a good 50-minute, I think we were up there for 50 minutes or more, and that was the longest I've ever been up on stage to play any kind of set. I felt really good about it.
By the time we went on, the place was really packed, which was great to see. Being in a local band, you'll know that it's not always easy filling up a place, getting people to pay money at the door when everyone is so broke, getting people to buy your merchandise, your record, your anything, you know. But people really came out and supported us, really showed some Ipsy metal love.
The most memorable part was everybody jumping off stage. Tony did not get caught a few times.
Don't fucking try me this time, you cocksuckers! Thank you, Tony!
At the end of our set, I decided to jump off. My intention was to jump down and start a pit and get people moving for the end of the song, but instead, I kind of knocked down Josh, the guitarist of Otero. I jumped right into him, and he fell back on Sarah Hunt, who was filming everything that night. That wasn't too good. Camera flew across the room, I guess.
I think a lot of people thought I was a lot skinnier. And I had 2 beers in my hand, which, like, I can die now.
Brandon, he jumped so high, man, and everyone thought it was really cool. Joel put the bass down, and you know, he jumped out there too. I thought that was really cool. Everybody got their little a good exit for the night, and the night turned out great.
That was as much as we could ask for a CD release, for sure. You guys are awesome. Always are. Very supportive. I love it. I love the camaraderie of our fans. People get on stage, people get drunk and have a good time on our shows. Like, that's what it's about. It's all about having a good time. And if we can bring that and people actually like our music and have a good time, it's as much as I can ask for.
You know, I'm really glad so many people showed up. So thanks.
Thank everybody for coming out. Everybody who took pictures, bought CDs, bought drinks, whatever. Thanks.
It's been quite a journey in the band so far, and I'm excited to see what comes next. We're already starting to write new material.
We're not done. We just began. We're getting this CD out just to get it behind us and look out for new material, new stuff. We're going to be playing a lot more shows. We're going to have more merchandise.
I like to put out more of a positive vibe than I have in the past to contribute something better to the world, because we need it. Thanks everyone who's stuck with us over however long we've been a band.
And stay classy.